let's talk about something almost nobody says out loud. We live in a world obsessed with followers, squads, and group photos. So what happens to the person who doesn't have a circle? Who goes to lunch alone? Who spends weekends by themselves? Who doesn't fit in with the crowd? Most people assume they're lonely. But what if they're actually ahead of everyone else? Some people aren't alone because they were rejected. They're alone because they chose it. They move differently. They think differently. And honestly, crowds can't hold the weight of who they're becoming. Today, let's talk about the 5 traits that make these loners some of the most powerful people walking the earth. Most people bend, shrink, and twist themselves just to belong. But these individuals, they don't audition for acceptance. They don't water down who they are so someone else will stay. Their worth comes from within, not from echoes outside. If they sit with someone, it's intentional, not because they fear being alone. They'd rather be whole by themselves than half of who they are in a crowd. Being alone doesn't drain them, it recharges them. While others fear silence, they use it as a tool. They're the ones journaling before sunrise, walking without headphones, reflecting instead of reacting. They're not antisocial, they're anti-superficial. They don't want 20 conversations at once. They want one conversation that matters. Not having many friends isn't always a tragedy. Sometimes it's a victory. They've learned to walk away from chaos, drama, gossip, and heavy energy. They protect their peace like a sacred space. They check a room with their body before their words. If being here drains me, I leave. Peace greater than popularity. Always. They read rooms like books. They notice the fake smiles, the forced laughs, the heavy energy someone hides behind a joke. They're not too sensitive. They're tuned in. And sometimes, the safest seat is the one by yourself. Some friendships don't fade because of betrayal. They fade because someone evolved. When you level up, you shed old versions of yourself. And not everyone can keep up with who you're becoming. They'd rather lose people than lose themselves. If you walk alone, hear this. You are not impossible to love. You're just impossible to manipulate. And you refuse to offer your presence where your soul is not honored. Walking alone doesn't make you broken. Sometimes it means you're becoming unstoppable.